Hello, beautiful people. As always, welcome back. A quick and brief explanation of something that many people have made convoluted. Title. The title is one or more words used before or after a person's name. In certain contexts, it may signify either generation, an official position, or professional or academic qualification. In other words, a title is based on context. It's based on your official position to something and qualification. Doesn't matter whether it's title in your name, your doctorates, your philosophy, or you're the third, or your bay, or your any other title and ability from any other part of the world. Or maybe it's a title, like a certificate of title, or a quiet title, or colorable title. Whatever it is, it shows your qualification and position and the context and the significance that you have to any given property, one way or another. It is that simple. And in this instance, let's just take, for example, the DMV that a lot of people hark and bark about. It's this simple. That certificate of title is an evidence that a title exists somewhere and it's been certified according to the rule of evidence, rule of authenticity, which we've run over so many different ways on this channel and on Patreon and on Facebook. Whenever the card is so-called registered with a DMV, who is an outside contractor to the state of so-and-so, just as IRS is an outside contractor as an auditor company for the United States and IMF. When one registers that car, they give you a receipt called a license plate and the little sticker that you put on it to say, okay, all right, you've put in our trust. But since the issue is all about title, why not put it under your title and your trust before putting it under their title and their trust? Why not be the first lien holder on it? The only incentive and motivating factor behind why cops are quick to want to tow your car is because they know it doesn't have a first lien holder on it. And they know that you don't have title to it. Having title to your vehicle has nothing to do with the manufacturer's certificate of origin. That speaks about the parts that's been made to it. If you read the language of the law that governs MSOs, it strictly governs the parts that's made to the car, which is fine. If you want to do that, no problem. But when it comes to interest, which is the substance that overrides all of that, why not put yours into it before anyone else? Remember, it's always about control rather than ownership. Don't be misled by people's hype train about what they tell you of one thing or another. It is far simpler than many people make it. You and I have higher faculties that defies the laws governing this physical thing and everything in between. They call it space and time. You and I have faculties that defies them. It matters not what level of ability we think we possess, high or low, advanced or intermediate or new. We have those faculties. Imagination, deductive reasoning, memory. You and I can think right now and go to any given space we want in our mind, past, present, or future, and live it out right now, no matter what year, no matter what season. That ability itself defies space and time. And you and I carry that ability around every day. Can you believe it? The better part about that is that faculty just doesn't exist merely for the sake of just existing. It exists for a purpose, just like everything else exists for a purpose. The purpose of that faculty in your mind that defies time and space is to be able to use it to create reality. Is to be able to use it to simplify things, not complicate things. All these people speaking about DMV title, this and that, all these years after years, they have nothing to show for it but just keep arguing and bantering and making things more confusing for new people who come in trying to figure it out. And then at the end of the day, the tortfeasor, as I always say, they will get more comfortable. They will keep kicking your ass. They will keep taking your shit. As harsh as it sounds, it's the reality of what's going on. Because people choose not to simplify things and put it into proper perspective to be able to actually put it to use. The mind is a power plant, like a nuclear power plant, like you would crank up an engine and it will start to generate heat. That heat is a mechanical effect of that engine's activity. So is the mind. The reality is an effect of the activity of the mind. And once someone invades your mind and gives you some convoluted trash that makes it harder than it's supposed to be, the heat and the reality you're going to be generating will not benefit you. The problem is the awareness of the activity and the misuse of lack of deliberate use of this machine called the mind. Reality is created twice, first in your mind and second in the physical reality. Your mind is what causes everything to happen in the physical world. If your mind is convoluted with some information in a belligerent manner whereby you don't know how to function with it, then you will just remain in a speculative, belligerent, and convoluted manner without making it simple. Raise your awareness by simplifying things. The things that work are not that complex. They really aren't. But see, studying is something we have been conditioned to perceive as a task and cumbersome. What was just clarified in this video took years of studies. But the way you know you get it is when you can simplify it to someone and make it make sense. Beyond convolution of thousands of pages of PDF and speculative conversations and trash that they've never done themselves. On the Patreon page, we show you exactly how to do and simplify what we've just spoken of. A video that was done and broken down. You can't really blame people. You can only blame their foundation of education through the schooling system. Schooling system only educate people to just gather information to dump it out based on short-term memory through tests and exams. So when people come into this information, they do the exact same thing. They just accumulate information. School doesn't teach people how to use information. They just teach you how to gather it just to dump it out, not use the information. Don't come in with that state of mind when it comes to real life. This is real life, not school. The teacher and the test and exam are the things that's going to cause you to lose that which is valuable to you. When that test and exam comes, the application of the things that you've been studying is what's going to assist you from passing those tests and exams of life. And the result of that, whether you get an A, B, or F, is whether you get to keep that which is rightfully yours, or have them come to you giving you monies. Or you lose with that which is rightfully yours and have them come to you demanding monies from you. That is the true test and exam of life. And if you're merely accumulating information with this great mind of yours that defies space and time without its application, rather than just accumulating information, you're doing yourself a disservice. Don't do that. You're better than that. Creative thinking and deductive reasoning and imagination allows you to simplify things. Your mind is a software, the cause that creates the physical reality, the hardware. If you don't get it in the mind, it can never manifest in the physical world. Be realistic with yourself about what you're doing and stop letting people lead you astray, complicating things just because it sounds smooth, smart, and it catches your attention. As you listen to people speak about certain things, pay attention to your own mental faculties. That's very important. And ask yourself one question. As this man or woman is telling me this, even the things on this channel, ask yourself this question. As this man or woman is telling me this, when you read things on social media, when you read PDFs, when people tell you some things, ask yourself, how can I put this to use? Information exists to be used, not to be accumulated. Always ask yourself that question. Until next time, take care. Best of luck. Hey, beautiful people. I'm inviting you to come join my Patreon page. We speak about everything we don't speak of here on YouTube on the Patreon page. We speak of establishing privacy in many different means, how to hold tortfeasors liable, the different types of discharge, and the steps to actually do it. Now I'll be showing my own proof of the success, the intricacies involved in why and how it works, and the things no one else would tell you because they've never discharged themselves. The intricacies of settlements, suing people, and many other basic things like other tools that you can use privately, things of spiritual nature, because this goes beyond what you observe with your five senses. And if you just want to limit your remedy to just what you observe with your five senses, think again, because the other side is not playing in that realm. It's not an even playing field. Other things like study tools are shown, things regarding trust and asset protection. and how to layer trust properly the way people seek it, and the advantage of how to do it. Banking, the functionality of how they function, and the validity of it that a lot of people misuse or are misled by, where they think, oh, these other guys are bad, so now I have to just go into argument mode. No, you don't always have to argue. The law is perfected for your benefit if you're competent about it. Many things regarding child support, different examples of settlement checks, and the videos on it, the different aspect of how you can broaden your mind internationally beyond the little chicken scraps that people are picking up when it comes to passport and things of that nature, how banking work, how property protection work, the details of copyright, tort, privacy, different types of trust, the intricacies, and exactly why and how they are done, the intricacies that people from other part of the world know about trust that you don't. Just because you read something on social media and whatnot doesn't mean you really got it. The intricacies of how to use certain jurisdiction and the stuff everyone speaks of. More in child support, more in trust, more in court, more in spiritual nature of things, etc., etc. The fact that tax avoidance is different from tax evasion. The importance of things in commerce and how to actually function in commerce. How to actually really do things as a natural person is beyond speculation. But let me give you this caveat. If you're looking for a cookie cutter or some quick fast food way, this is not it for you. Either here on YouTube or on Patreon. But if you're serious about your education and the function and application of it, rather than the mere accumulation of information, then come on over on Patreon. There are things we speak about over there that are universally and exponentially beneficial compared to that of the ones we speak of on YouTube. And more importantly, the practicality and the actual use of it. Take care. Best of luck.